Hey guys, Freeman from Team Rec here, back again with another deck profile. This time it's going to be my Salamangreat deck profile that I took to locals this past weekend and managed to get third place actually, despite never having played this deck, not even like 3 years ago when it was the meta. I've never played this deck, I've only ever played against it, and I honestly didn't think I would be able to even win a game, but we managed to pull out a couple of wins. Managed to get third place despite never playing it, so I figured I'd go ahead and showcase it to get some content on the channel here for you guys. So the monster lineup, we have our 3 Salamangreat Spinny, pretty standard stuff. We play 2 Foxy and 2 Jack Jaguar. I'd probably cut a Foxy for a third Jack, to be honest. Jack Jaguar seems to be like the best normal summon in your deck. It's a 1-card Heat Soul, and Foxy's just like a bad normal summon. Honest, you do want like 1 copy to be able to combo off sometimes, but honestly, Jack Jaguar's like your best card. Then we played the 1 Falco, and we played the 1 Gazelle. That's it for salad names. We didn't play Mir, only because I didn't have one, or otherwise I would have played Mir. And then we didn't play Foul either, just because we're playing a couple other cards instead. So that's really it for the salad cards. Now going into the weekend, I did want to play the like Code Talker version of the deck, but I couldn't get the cards in time, so I ended up playing like a Brave package instead of that. But if I had the Code Talker stuff, I definitely would have played that instead. The Brave engine was just kind of like sitting in my binder for 2 months ever since Meow Mew got banned, and I just kind of figured, you know, I've spent so much money on this engine, I might as well put it to use, so I decided to play a deck that I could play it in. We're playing the 3 Flame Buffalo. Obviously, this is like the best normal summon ever. This is just draw 2. Your whole deck's just draw 2. Flame Buffalo is really good. And then I went ahead and played 3 Parallel Exceed, just to help make Baguska, as Baguska is a very good card to end on. A lot of decks struggle to play through it unless they have like a Droplets in their opening hand, in which case you probably lose. But if they don't, you probably win. So it's just kind of like one of those better Havoc cards when you end on Baguska. So yeah, Parallel Exceed's very good. And if you can afford it, you don't want to do this like right away, because if you wait to get nibbed and then you can like link the nib token into a link spider and then do your parallel speed plays, you can kind of do that, but it depends on your hand. But yeah, that's just kind of a cheeky way to play around nib if you don't need the parallel exceed right at the start to extend your plays. Then, like I said, we are playing the Brave package, so our 3 Water Enchantress and the Wandering Griffin Rider. No Illegal Knight in this deck. I've never actually tested that card before. 3 Rights, 1 Fateful, and 1 Dracoback, and 1 Foolish. So just a pretty standard like adventure engine here. Right doesn't really conflict, because for those that don't know, you can't actually use your normal summon monster's effect the turn you activate Right. But the only card you're really normal summoning that has like an effect on field is either Foxy, which you almost never want to use that effect anyway, or Gazelle. But 90% of games, I'd say, you're special summoning Gazelle from its own effect, so the normal summoning never really comes up. And then onto the hand traps. One of the reasons to play this deck is to go like Heat Soul, hand trap control, which is pretty fun. Decided to play 3 Nibs, as I thought this card was starting to regain its popularity in the format. It kind of went out of favor with the Brandon Despia deck, but at my locals, there's not really anyone that plays it. There's maybe like 1 or 2 in the room on any given day. And other than that, I think Nib's just a really good card. Obviously, you can just like win you games on the spot. Playing the 3 Effect Veilers, this is pretty much a staple in every single deck, as you need answers to Hulk, since there's so many decks just playing Hulk and Synchro strategies. So having Effect Veilers is extremely useful. Ash, obviously, just super generic hand trap. Everyone plays this. And then to round out our hand trap lineup, we're playing the 3 Impermanence for similar reasons to Veiler. Impermanence kind of conflicts with Heat Soul. If you like draw this on your opponent's turn, it's a little bit annoying. But at the same time, obviously you can't play 6 Effect Veilers. And this also lets you draw dodge Called By, which is really good. I actually got Called By like 4 times this weekend on a hand trap, which is kind of crazy considering it's a 1-of, but you know, it's not tilting at all. Onto the spells. 3 Circle, fresh off the balance, of course. Like the reason to be able to play this deck at all is to be able to find Gazelle when you need it. The 3 Signet Mining. Another reason I want to play the Code Talker version of the deck is because this is actually searchable in that version. But with the Brave version, a lot of times this weekend I went Signet Mining, discarding Water Enchantress for cost, which is just like leads to many, many pluses. So that always feels nice. We're playing the 2 Pot of Desires. It's Salamangreat. Once you have the Gazelle out of your deck, ideally you can go ahead and activate this pretty freely and pretty much get just extra cards without hurting your engines. So always good in decks that can play that. And then obviously we're playing the one Sanctuary for engine requirements. And our last card is Called by the Grave, just kind of as a one of. No Salamangreat traps, as you'll notice. I don't think those cards are very good, especially in kind of the strategy I'm going for, which is either ending on Heat Soul with Griffin Negate or Heat Soul with Baguska, or all three of those. Although if you do have Baguska and Griffin Rider, you cannot use Griffin's effect. But if they manage to out your Baguska, then you do still have your Negate. But yeah, you rarely end on Salamangreat Link monsters, and if you are ending on those, your hand's probably already bad anyway, and you're already going to lose that game. And drawing the traps naturally is just a big break on your hand, and you want to be able to play every game. So I figured those just aren't really worth playing. It's a 47 card main deck, I believe. I had it pretty much flat at 40. I didn't have Code Talkers or Braves in the deck, but kind of last minute I decided to play the Brave package. I thought it would add a little bit more like spice to the deck, and it was just a local, so I figured it'd be more fun. And I mean, yeah, the Brave cards are really fun and powerful, so they're good to use. It also, playing the Draco back adds a main deck Mystic Mineout into the deck, as I didn't have one before. And that did come up once, so that was pretty cool. Onto the extra deck, we're playing 2 Balinks, 2 Sunlight Wolf. Like I said, we're not really a Salamangreat deck. We're mostly just like a link climbing control deck with Heat Soul. So these cards don't really come up. The 2 Balinks does come up if your only Salamangreat monster is Jack, because Jack is the 1-card Heat Soul in itself. You can normal summon Jack Jaguar, make your 1 Balinks, search for the Sanctuary, relink into this, and then Jack effect with the 1 in your graveyard, special summon. And then you have Jack and Balinks. You can link into your Splash Mage, special summon your Jack Jaguar, and then go Heat Soul from there. So that's really the only reason you need 2 of these. And honestly, I only played 2 of these because I had an extra slot in the extra deck. But really, you're never extra linking this card. You don't need the effect to recur spell traps because you don't play the traps. And Recurring Circle, I mean, it's decent, but it just doesn't really come up. You only ever use the first effect of Sunlight Wolf in this build, at least. Continuing on with the Link monsters, we have the Lingaribo. You need this card to be able to make Heat Soul. It's another attribute Cybers monster, and you just make it out of any normal summon salad. Or any 4 lower salad, rather. We're playing the Almirage. Really, the main reason to play this is because it actually is a Salamangreat name, and in the situations where you need a link arrow to like Jack Jaguar effect or even like Spinny effect because of the name, it does come up a little bit. So, and it's just a decent card overall. It's also fire, which is good. We're playing the Link Spider for what I spoke of earlier, for like when you get nibbed and you can still extend with Parallel Exceed. That it's a pretty good interaction, and I figured it was worth the slot. We're playing the Phoenix. This is kind of our flex spot as an out to maybe some Floodgate. This never really came up, but it was a decent flex spot, I think. We're playing the Splash Mage, of course. Arguably, you should play 2 of this, maybe over the Phoenix or maybe over the second Sunlight Wolf. I only had the 1, though, so we went with that. Really good card. This does lock you into Cybers monsters for the turn. So if you do have a Baguska play and a Heat Soul play, you need to be sure to make your Baguska before you resolve this effect. And then we are playing the Update Jammer, Transcode Talker, and Access Code Talker. Kind of just wombo combo here. Almost every single game ends on turn 3 with you just doing this and attacking for like 10,600 damage. Literally, that's how you just win the game. If I had one as well, maybe second access code. A lot of these cards you could play like 2 ofs because of a potential grind game. But yeah, this is just lethal combo, obviously. And then the star of the deck, Heat Soul. Your goal is to make this every game. I achieved that pretty much every game, I believe. Just draw 2 cards a turn, draw in their turn, and then just kind of control the game with hand traps. And if you survive to turn 3, you then normally just have the bodies to kill them with the lethal blow here. So that's kind of the idea behind the deck. And then to round out the extra deck, we do have 1 Baguska. Really good card to end on with Parallel Exceed. If your hand's really good, you actually don't need Parallel Exceed to make Heat Soul plus Baguska. That rarely comes up, but Parallel Exceed basically is just an easy way to get to this. And then the 1 Mirage Stalio. This came up a decent amount, actually. I didn't think it would. Just 1 of, though, as you can recur it with Jack Jaguar if you really think you're going to use it again. But pretty much once this resolves, you won't need it again. Fun fact is that this is actually generic level 3, and I've actually made this with Water Enchantress more than I have with Salad cards. So yeah, that's a cool little interaction there. That's going to be it for the extra deck there. Onto the sideboard. The sideboard was like really last minute, and I didn't really know what to play. But it worked out decently, I'd say. I got use out of every card in my sideboard, so I guess that's kind of a plus, but it's definitely not optimal. 3 Droll. I believe Droll's kind of starting to regain popularity. There's a lot of Punk and like Synchro / Dragon decks popping up a little bit at locals here. So Droll and Lockbird, decent option. And then I went with 2 Crow. I feel like Crow's just pretty good in the format right now. Good against Despia. It's decent against Sky Striker. It's decent against Marincess as well as Drytron and stuff. So just Crow, just kind of to fill out the hand traps for going second as you're already maining 12. On to back row removal, we have 3 Twin, 1 Harpies. Obviously, you need some sort of back row removal in your side deck. You don't want to auto-lose to Mystic Mine, and cards like Anti-Spell and stuff definitely hurt you. So you definitely just want outs to those cards. Unfortunately, we did lose a game to Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell is kind of like the card of the format right now. Yeah, you definitely just want these somewhere in your side deck or main deck in general, just because there are trap decks running around, especially at locals. You just never know what you're going to run into. Then to round out the side deck, the last 6 cards, we have 3D Barrier. This is very good for going first, obviously, against stuff like Sword Soul, stuff like Despia. We also have like hero players and stuff at locals, so being able to just call Fusion on a Fusion Destiny activation is pretty lethal. And then we're playing the card of the format right here, Anti-Spell Fragrance. The games where you get to go first and like draw 5 cards because you have like Buffalo Desires plus like Heat Soul, there's a good chance you're going to find some of your side deck. So these 6 are very good and just end turns a lot of the time. And honestly, I truly do believe Anti-Spell is like one of the best cards in the format right now, post side. Especially going first, obviously. But this card just ends games, skips turns, and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's going to do it for the profile, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm kind of just messing around with decks that I haven't tried before for the next couple of weeks until the Splight deck comes out and Power of the Elements. I'm very excited for that. I'll be putting a lot of time into learning that deck and trying to get really good at it because it's one of the decks I've been most excited for in the past couple of years. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future deck profiles. And we're also getting a case as well of Power of the Elements, so look out for that video. That should be coming right around the release date. So we'll see you then.